Welcome back to my series, Dance Mums Uncovered. Season 5 Nationals didn't exactly go as planned for the ALDC Junior Elite team. With Maddie losing to Ava and the Elite team losing to BDA, it really was the ALDC's biggest loss in the history of the show. People have accused Abby and the Mothers of being sore losers because they suggested that the competition was rigged. Well, I've done a ton of research into this disaster of a competition, and let's just say that there's certainly more to it than the producers care to show. Feel free to share your thoughts on the following evidence. Firstly, we have accusations. Several of the cast members have commented about this competition on social media. Jill posted a couple of tweets throwing shade at the competition. When the episode first aired, she tweeted, "Smells like team spirit, hashtag something stinks." We're also very aware that Abby wasn't happy with this competition either. During the competition, someone managed to film Abby while she scolded the competition director.
Hair like that and those ugly boots on is a mockery, and the guys in a white tuxedo. What is this? It's just...
Yeah. Wait. You can't leave.
Abby actually commented on this post, giving the following statement. The mums, Gianna and I, waited until we thought the ridiculous debacle was over to get up to leave. Then the owner started yelling, "You can't leave." The entire event was ludicrous. Mackenzie was 4th place junior solo, then 5 minutes later she was the overall high score title winner. Never even heard of the competition. 5 years ago, before the show started to air, I insisted to the production company and the network that every competition be a legitimate business. And I'm not stupid. There are wonderful teachers and amazing dancers all over the USA. However, I will not be involved with a rigged competition, whether it is for us or against us. This really is quite the statement, and clearly shows Abby's thoughts on this issue. Another dance mum who spoke out was Holly, who shared a few tweets calling out her fellow ALDC mums for walking out on a competition. Surprisingly, the most outspoken person on social media was actually Kira. She points out that it was ridiculous that Kalani won 1st place in the duet trio division for her solo. She also shared an image of Kalani's confused expression when she won this award, which is interesting because the show actually made it look like Kalani made this face after the group dance won 2nd place. But lastly, and most interestingly, Kira accused Holly and Jesselyn for lying and going along with the producer's narrative. While I think it was absolutely fine for them to not storm out with the other mums, I find it hard to justify why they would defend the competition as being a perfectly legitimate event. And once you see my next pieces of evidence, you'll start to understand why. 2. Why the competition was a hot mess. When you look at the list of things that went wrong during this competition, it's really no wonder that the mums believed it was fixed. Aside from Maddie losing to Ava and the ALDC's group dance losing at Nationals for the first time, every ALDC dance had something go wrong with it. As we mentioned previously, Kalani had a solo at Nationals that wasn't shown during the episode. For some reason, she won 1st in the duet trio category. Mackenzie also had a solo too, which came 4th place in the junior division, yet also won a title despite her not being entered in the title division. I wonder if maybe this happened because the producers wanted footage of her both losing and winning, so that they could choose the result they liked better later on in the editing process. These results were never corrected either. On the ALDC results webpage, it suggests that technically these results are still official. Now let's talk about the music skipping during Nia's solo. I find it so hard to believe that this was a legitimate technical error. After all, I've heard reports that many competitions don't even use CD music submissions anymore. Most of the music is apparently submitted digitally now. Furthermore, I found a clip of an actual CD skipping, and it sounds very different to what we heard on the show.
And singing night where the tape,
There's a difference, right? It's also weird how the music only seems to just repeat itself a couple of times, and then the rest of the disc is fine. It's worth noting that according to people who attended the competition, the award ceremony was late because the competition was running 2 hours behind schedule. And apparently, the producers got audience members to sit on stage to make it look like there were more people competing in the competition. The final dodgy thing about this competition I noticed was the promotional image for this event. I googled dancer jeté silhouette and found the image of a dancer leaping is actually a clip art image pulled from the internet. As someone who is currently studying graphic design, I can tell you that this promotional image is about as disorganised and unprofessional as the competition was. From all these mistakes, it's not far-fetched to wonder if the producers, who really have no experience in running their own dance competitions, caused all the chaos behind the scenes of this competition. Number 3. Strange celebrations. During the competition, and its aftermath, some of the celebrations that take place are kind of suspicious. First of all, there is a picture of Hayley's mum, Melanie Hulsman, celebrating with a bunch of balloons, which was apparently taken even before the awards ceremony had started. It's obviously possible that she may not have known for sure that they would win, but maybe the producers did, and maybe they ordered the BDA some balloons in advance because they knew they would win. There were also pictures of the BDA team celebrating with one of the Dance Moms co-executive producers, Tessa Khalif. While this isn't necessarily super suspicious on its own, Melanie posted a picture on Instagram of herself, Hayley and Tessa on the day of the competition, with the caption, "Shh, favourites," using #producer, #troublemakers, and #IDidn'tDoIt. While it could just be an innocent inside joke or something, it is definitely worth pointing out. Lastly, during the awards ceremony at this competition, Mackenzie was given an early birthday present. I'm not a dancer, so can someone tell me if this is a normal thing to do at a dance competition? I would think that the competition owners would worry about looking like they are playing favourites. Number 4, reunion discussion. Now here is the really juicy part of this episode, where I'll break down the reunion discussion. Did you notice that when Abby is talking about attending this competition, she very subtly holds up one of the signs to the camera? It says, "They fined me $80,000 because I refused to attend a fixed competition." Then Jeff Collins asks whether they have ever been to a competition run by the same owner before, and the producer says that they had. For a brief moment, you can see Abby yelling something in this clip, but her voice has been muted. And finally, the audience keeps clapping whenever someone suggests that Abby was a sore loser. What are the odds that every single person in that audience agrees with Holly, Jessalyn, and Jeff? Lastly, let's talk about the competition owners. The owners of this competition are Lynn and Frank Giordano. They own Backstage Boss LCC, which I briefly discussed in my episode about whether or not the competitions on Dance Moms are fake. The competitions they run include Centre Stage, Dance Kids USA, Dream Dance Challenge, and Dream Dance Experience. So you would think that they would know how to run competitions more smoothly than what happened during Nationals. It's interesting because Frank is actually a poker player in the professional circuit, which means he could be a very good liar. This is why I take his scene where he talks to Jessalyn and Holly with a grain of salt. In my previous episode, I talked about how the producers once paid the owner of Intensity Competitions $10,000 to host a competition during Season 3. It's fair to say that the producers would be more than willing to spend bucket loads of money on a competition owner in exchange for influence over who wins. So what do you guys think? Was this competition hijacked by the producers, or was it just a catastrophe? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!